Hey everybody, it's your girl Lillie Mae, and it is definitely not consulting time. This is all things authentic, and I am fortunate to have an opportunity to talk with Amira Unplugged. And so she's going to talk to us about a couple of different things. We're going to talk about her background. We're going to talk about pursuing her dreams of becoming a singer with a special exceptionality. But we're also going to talk about how she's creating a lane for women that look like her. So, Amira, and make sure I'm saying it right.
You 100% are. Thank you.
So, Amira, introduce yourself to everyone and let's just jump right in and talk about how fabulous you are.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction. I am so excited to be here. I am Amira Unplugged. My real name is Amira Doherty, but can't nobody spell that. And so I'm a singer, songwriter, I'm a poet, and I often speak at events as well.
Okay, so we're going to work backwards. So right now, you're working on something spectacular. And I want to say it has something to do with MTV. Am I right?
Yes, I just wrapped on Becoming a Pop Star. Excuse me. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'll start over. Okay. I just started on a show. Well, I finished a show called Becoming a Pop Star, which is in its first season on MTV. And it's a show where they took 8 contestants from across the country who were discovered on TikTok. And we competed every week by creating original songs and music videos on different topics. And so I just actually wrapped the finale.
Wow. What was it like? Because I think Joe Jonas and oh my gosh.
It's like Becky G,
Jonas. Becky G, Joe Jonas. So what was it like working with them?
It was really exciting and very surreal. Like you walk in, you're talking to all the other artists, and then they came in and I think Becky was like, "Can we join the party?" I'm like, "Of course you can." It was really, really cool because these are all people who have impacted all the contestants in some way, whether we listen to their music or are inspired by it.
Okay. So now that we know the high and we know the glow, let's talk a little bit about the story behind the glow. So you grew up as a deaf African-American Muslim woman in the South. Talk to us a little bit about, growing up with a hearing impairment, but also pursuing music with a hearing impairment.
Yeah, those are a lot of intersections of my identity, yes. For sure. I feel like I carry a lot of communities with me. That's why I often through the show said, like, I got a lot of people riding with me because I wanted people to feel represented and feel empowered by what I was doing, particularly in the deaf/hearing impaired community. I wanted people to know that everything was done with intention. Something that a lot of hearing people don't know is that deaf folks love music. We just process it differently, right? And so you want to feel it, right? So that means a lot of texture, a lot of interesting motion in the songs. And so with these projects, I tried to make sure that there was something in there you could feel every single time, and that took a lot of forethought with me and my producers. And when I was recording it, trying to make sure that there was a balance in both my ears as well.
Okay, now, growing up in the South, there's a difference. I always say Virginia is the South, but being from Virginia and now living in Georgia, I see a lot of similarities, but I also understand why, even though Virginia is considered the South, I understand why it's still considered the North to some people, because it's a big difference. Growing up in the South, though, what were some of the things that you feel like you really had to overcome?
Yeah, it's very interesting because I grew up in the metro Atlanta area, right? I'm from Stone Mountain, right on the edge of Stone Mountain and Clarkson.
Yeah.
And both of these areas are highly diverse, have a lot of African-American people in Stone Mountain. And then in Clarkston, it's literally 150 countries represented in that small area. So it was unique growing up in an area where I was able to be prideful in myself, even when people were bullying me, and then to do programs right outside of the city where suddenly I was the only person like me, you know what I mean? Or me and my sister were the only people like us. And so what I think that made me do is reflect on, why do people lash out at people that are different than them? Why are people coming after me when they don't even know me yet?
Fear.
Yeah, like, because, you're like, you haven't even learned my name yet, and you're already giving me the side eye. And I think that a large portion of that is just a lack of understanding, a lack of representation. I didn't have anyone really to look to who was just like me.
Yeah.
And these people, how am I supposed to expect them to realize that we are more alike than different if no one's saying that? So I think that really affected everything I've done, whether it's music, which I'm so happy to be pursuing, or working in nonprofits, things like that. It's all been about bringing folks together.
Wow. Guys, this is Miss Amira Unplugged, and she has truly taken her social media platform to another level. She embraces our philosophy here, which is purpose over popularity. And she is showcasing her vocal agility while using sign language to reach her fans who are deaf on TikTok. Amira, would you give us a presentation?
Oh, like, okay. So, for example, at the end of my song, I Will Run,
Yes.
which is about overcoming imposter syndrome. So it was, there was so much that went into that performance, but I was speaking to some of my deaf friends on TikTok, and they were helping me through the sign language. So it's like, right, will, and then run. There's a lot of ways to say run, but this is like forward motion running and not like running a business, which is like that. And the judges, it was so touching. They all did it, and my friends on the show, they saw me and they were doing it too. And it was just that really touched my heart.
Amazing, amazing. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like, even with the music, because we know you're brilliant, but do you feel like there's another lane for you lobbying and advocating for other individuals like you on another level?
Absolutely. Prior to starting my music career professionally, I was all in with politics, with all these different things. I worked
felt
on Capitol Hill. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm all about advocacy, all about law and different things like that. I've worked on several campaigns, and I definitely realized in my time working on the Hill, the people that were making the most impact with the lawmakers were entertainers. We had, in the span of a week, like Donald Glover and Taraji P. Henson and all these different people walking in to speak to the congressman, going and speaking before Congress, and most importantly, bringing the messages and bringing the energy to the street. And so I think that these are two things that can work so well hand in hand.
I'm so glad you spoke your piece, and I'm so glad you even emphasized the fact that there are entertainers who truly are about the business. They are about the purpose. They are about the policy. They're about the procedure. And they're really about the passion of change and not just being seen. Do you have any words of wisdom for other individuals who are on a platform such as you to maybe incite that fire in them to fight for something bigger than just what they're doing?
Absolutely. I think that, music is the megaphone for the whole world. We get to amplify our voices and people will listen. Someone will hear you. And so I think that we have this responsibility. When I was doing spoken word primarily, one of the things that we talked about was the responsibility to carry the people who were listening like safely through your performance. And when I sing, I like to think of it in a similar way. We have the power to bring people from a low place to a high place, to make people feel understood, or make people feel empowered. And I think that no matter what your normal topic of conversation is, you should try to do some of that before you put the mic down.
Amazing. Guys, Amira Unplugged, she's amazing pop star, but she's multicultural. And not just multicultural, she's multiculturally competent. And that's different. You can be multicultural, but not be multiculturally competent. But she has it all. She is truly using her hearing impairment to inform individuals of who she is, why she's doing what she's doing, and showing what she can do to help you. So what we need from you, we need you to support Miss Amira Unplugged, but we also need Amira to let us know where we can find everything that you're doing, where we can stream you, and how we can be advocates for you.
I truly appreciate that. Like, really, thank you so much. I'm Amira Unplugged everywhere. My primary platforms are TikTok and Instagram, but my sister and I are working on my YouTube channel where people will be able to speak to me more and see more behind the scenes of this process. Okay. I'm actually releasing my debut projects this year. And so all those announcements will come through these platforms.
I'm waiting.
Come on. Thank you.
Yes. So Amira, any final words for our viewers?
I would just say, first, thank you for having me here and for, sharing conversation with me. And I think that what people can learn from me, is that you can have all of these different things that make you, feel like an outsider and still bring people together at the table. At the end of the day, you're one person. Don't put too much on yourself, but recognize that you can make a huge impact just by being you.
You just blessed me with that. This experience, let me tell you something.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad.
And I'm going to be real transparent about it. This is a humbling experience because I have always had to more or less do. So it's hard to ask for help when you need help, So I'm so grateful for you saying that sometimes you gotta allow someone to help you. So Amira, thank you so much for being with me today. I look forward to following your journey, and whatever we can do on this side, Lillie Mae is here for you.
Thank you so much.